the spookiest type in all of Pokemon? Well, duh, it's obviously the ghost type. And in honor of this year's spooky summer, today we're going to be trying to beat Pokemon Violet using only shiny ghost type Pokemon. Normal rules apply, no over-leveling, set mode, and no using items from the bag in battle. Scary, I know, but you know the drill. And the only thing more haunting than my team will be the time spent grinding to get all these shinies. So grab your Ouija board and let's do this thing. Our run starts with me getting through the intro. I've done this so many times, I feel like a zombie. Brains. I need shinies, no brains yet. We pick up Fuecoco, aka Johnny Blaze, the Ghost Rider. While Johnny isn't a shiny or a ghost yet, he'll have to do for now. We ride his flaming motorcycle through the tutorial as we light Nemona's cat on fire, head to the beach to find our Miraidon, feed it some food, go into the underworld, which is overrun with Houndour. We escape with the help of our motorcycle, take down Arven, and finally get to the first Pokemon Center. For my own spooky endeavors, this allows me to trade to get a Ditto and really start my shiny run. But before we can get started on that, a certain green-haired girl boss stands in our way. Johnny Blaze smokes Nemona's Sprigatito, and it turns into a major scaredy cat when it gets a whiff of Johnny's Ember. However, Nemona's Pawmi proves a different story. Its Terra Electric boosted Thundershock absolutely fries Johnny Blaze. Yeah, that's gonna be a bit of a problem. We try again, and a third time. Okay, Nemona might be powered by some unholy deity in this run. I have no idea what's going on here. After getting fried for a third time, I employ the time-honored tradition of teaching my starter Mudslap and hoping for the best. Fourth time's a charm, I hope. Again, we take out Sprigatito, no problem at all, before getting to the Ghostbuster himself, Pawmi. We Mudslap its face into the ground, but it still hits us with an empowered Thundershock. However, it's hard to make lightning hit twice, even when terastallized. We hit it with enough mud to make Pawmi miss not once, but twice, giving our unshiny, unghost team the W. Next, we save Penny from the Team Star Grunts and can finally get our team into challenge mode. I want to see shiny ghost-type Pokemon on my team now. Now you might be wondering, Quinn, are you about to go run around Paldea endlessly grinding for shiny ghost types? Well, yes and no. We're still gonna grind, but all from the comfort of our very own picnic. First, we trade in an international Ditto to get a little Masuda method going on, then we make a jam sandwich. It's so tasty. Put the strawberries on it, then the bread. I'm gonna go make one of these for myself. And we aren't making this just for its fruity, gooey deliciousness, but also for its egg power. Egg power makes us more likely to get Pokemon eggs and reduces how many steps we need to walk in order to hatch them. This allows us to condense our hunt for shiny Fuecoco to just a few measly hours, down from multiple soul-sucking days. And after eating a few jam sandwiches, we found our shiny Fuecoco. We name it Ghost Rider because that's the ghostly superhero name of Johnny Blaze. We train him up and test Ghost Rider in the Olive Challenge, an easy task for an undead biker. Then we go for the real challenge, the first gym leader, Katie. Or I hoped it would be a real challenge. Ghost Rider's Stab Incinerate, well, incinerates Katie's Nimble and Tarantula in one shot. Easy. And I think Katie might be a little bit scared of ghosts at this point. Now, when she sends out her normal type Teddiursa, we are initially spooked because normal types are immune to ghost types, but then Katie terastallizes into a bug type for some reason. So after a quick incinerate or two, Katie is 6 feet under. We didn't even need to use Ghost Rider's safety Oranberry. And that's more for me to put in my jam sandwich. Oh, and would you look at that? Ghost Rider is evolving into a Crocolore. Wow! And even though he's bigger and much spookier, he's still not a ghost type, but maybe a bit goth though. So we'll take it. From here, we walk to the East Province with one mission in mind. Get another shiny ghost. Ghost Rider is getting lonely. Along the way, we meet Clive, who is clearly a ghost pretending to be a child. And you love to see it, ghost bros rise up. However, I'm not looking for human ghosts, I'm looking for Pokemon ghosts, and shiny ones at that. So I head over to East Area 2 to chill on the bench and find myself a Sandygast. However, I get jumped by a Buizel. And it one-shots Ghost Rider. Dang, I guess even ghosts aren't safe on the beaches anymore. What is Paldea coming to? Anyway, avoiding any angry beavers, I run around the beach and eventually spot a yellow shovel. And that, my friends, signals a shiny Sandygast. We catch him and name him Sandman, which is fitting. Sandman will put you to sleep. Though he is a bit over-leveled, but what can we do? I'm not gonna use this shiny to hatch another shiny so that we can use it before the level cap. I'm not that strong of a man, okay? So I travel down to South Province Area 3 to find a certain giant stone crab. Along the way, I find a spooky rare bone, which is totally on brand for us. And finally, we get to the giant Klawf. While Klawf might look like a gravestone with eyes, it goes down pretty easily. Klawf's Vice Grip attack might be mighty, but it's still a normal type move, and it can't touch Sandman. Arven and I take a shot at the second stage of Klawf, and it goes pretty much the same. Arven's Shelter activates Klawf's Anger Shell, but even that can't get through Sandman's Spirited Defense. And finally, the crab has fallen. In the dark of night, I start the Sunflora challenge, and my Ghost Gang is at its strongest at night. The shadows powering Sandman and the Ghost Rider. The Sunflora are not so lucky. Due to all the Sunflora being inactive at night, all I have to do is ride around and find them as they're peacefully sleeping. The only thing easier than finding all those Sunflora is the gym they're attached to. Brassius talks a big game, but can his art stand up to ghosts? Well, no. Ghost Rider makes quick work of Brassius' Petlil with Incinerate, and then a quick Incinerate on his Smoliv, and in a few seconds, Brassius is down to just his final Pokemon, Sudowoodo. After he terras Sudowoodo into a grass type, Incinerate takes it down. Clearly, Brassius' art couldn't handle our ghostly visages, and we take the Artisan Badge. The next gravestone on our path is the Flying Titan, but this one is going to be tricky. Dark types are not only super effective against ghosts, but they resist ghost type attacks as well, so we need to prep. First, I give Ghost Rider Thunderfang, Yawn, and Disarming Voice for maximum effectiveness against the Titan. And then Sandman gets Quick Claw and Protect. We take our first run at the Flying Titan and immediately get stopped. Between its rocky payload and its stab wing attacks, our ghost team is sent packing. Even with our preparations, we didn't stand a ghost of a chance. Round 2 with the Flying Titan goes a bit better, especially after I give Sandman Rock Slide. I'm able to chip enough damage off for Ghost Rider to ride in, do a wheelie, and incinerate the Titan enough for it to run away. But even with Arven's help, we're still too weak from the last fight to stay alive in Phase 2. Now, other types of Pokemon may have given up here, but ghost types will never stop. We might get struck down, but we will rise again. We've finally managed to put it to sleep with a well-placed Yawn from Ghost Rider, and now we can really chip it down with a combination of Incinerate and Rock Slide from Sandman. And just like that, the big bird finally goes down. Now, together with Arven, we do something a bit underhanded. Since Arven's got a rock type and all, and Sandman is a little weak, we let Arven's Knackley finish the job for us. A few smackdowns later, and the Titan is, well, smacked down. After losing that many times against the Sky Titan, I figured we could add another Phantom to our dead man's party, so I set out and what? Is that a shiny Mankey? It isn't a ghost type yet, but it sure scared me like one. So we quickly capture the Mankey and name it after the best cartoon villain, Mojo Jojo. Well, that and because he's a green monkey. Do you know any other green monkeys? Because I sure don't. Anyway, we run into the first Team Star base, and these goons are no match for my ghoulish ghosts. We murk the Murkrow, then go and terrorize their camp until we run into the Dark Star leader, Hakamo. He might be big and scary on his souped-up Revavroom, but his sick beats can't match the true terror of our ghostly dirges. Oh, that's why it's named that. We begin our battle with the second Starmobile, and it goes fine. Ghost Rider does his best, but can only take about a third of its health off before fainting. Nice job, Mr. Ghost Rider, sir. You've done your part. Mojo Jojo comes in clutch with his super effective low kicks. However, after he falls, Sandman isn't able to keep up the momentum. Sandcastles generally aren't great at that. We try again, and it goes a bit better. Ghost Rider hits with a few Disarming Voices before collapsing, and letting Sandman come in to further weaken the mecha with a combination of Sand Tomb and Protect. But he still falls. Dang, man, for being the only true ghost right now, you need to pick up the pace, Sandman. I'm just gonna say it. Now it's all down to Mojo Jojo, whose fighting type allows it to easily resist these wicked Torques and Snarls. Unfortunately, even with the type advantage, we still find ourselves in a tough position. But just when all seems lost, Mojo Jojo's Citrus Berry comes in clutch, allowing us to have just enough HP to get one final kick in, sealing the second Starmobile's fate. After the battle, I go heal up at the local Poke Necromancer, and I notice our team is a bit barren. Perfect. I know there's a Bramblin around here somewhere. You know, for a ghost town, I would have expected there to be more Bramblin. Only us ghosts here, huh? Wait, is that? Oh, there he is, finally a shiny Bramblin. This one's a bit hot to trot and gives Ghost Rider a hard-fought battle, but we got a good one, folks. Roosevelt the Bramblin, named after Franklin Roosevelt due to Armand's brave nature. We go and evolve Bramblin by running in circles. I'm gonna be sick. After all that spinning and one rare candy, Roosevelt evolves into a new shiny Bramblegast. Welcome to the team, friend. On the horizon, I sense evil. Or good, I think. None other than the Exorcist herself. Nemona finds us in the Pokemon Center and challenges us to our age-old battle. Good versus evil. Holy Lightning versus ghostly spirits. We kick off the battle and Sandman's Mega Drain sends the Rockruff right to sleep. Next up is the Holy Lightning Spitter itself, Palmy. But Sandman quickly takes it down. Your lightning can't harm my soil, Nemona, no matter how hard you try. Floragato is up next, and it quickly takes out Sandman with a Terra-boosted Magical Leaf. Back to the soil with you, my friend. However, this magical cat may be strong, but it is no match for Ghost Rider. We run over that fool with the super effective Incinerate to take home the win. The Electric Gym Leader Iono is up next, and this match is sure to be electrifying. We start at a bit of a disadvantage, Roosevelt versus Watrel, but this Tumbleweed is no pushover. Watrel only has 35 defense, so a rollout from Roosevelt is enough to take it down. But not before taking Roosevelt's Citrus Berry. Hey, that's mine, stop! Next up is Luxio, who bites through Roosevelt, but in turn can't stand up to a single mud shot from Sandman. Bellibolt proves a bit tougher with its super effective water guns, but again, Sandman is able to pull through, even getting a bunch of defense boosts from its ability Water Compaction in the process. Now we have the real killer, Mismagius. I think witches like ghosts, right? With its ability Levitate and Terastallizing into an electric type, it has no real weaknesses. So what are we supposed to do here? Mojo Jojo tries its best, but can't stand up to Mismagius's ghostly onslaught. And this is making me realize that it really does suck to be on the other side of this ghost's power. Now we're down to our last Pokemon, and it's all riding on Ghost Rider. Until Iono's Pokemon hits us with a Confuse Ray, but it's okay, we can make this work. It has half health, and we can do it. All you need to do is hit. The match goes downhill from there. Losing that first initial hit from the confusion means Snarl's weakening power isn't able to gain enough traction, and Mismagius ends our first attempt. Our next try goes a bit better, with Roosevelt straight rolling through Iono's entire team. Watrel is no match and gets run over. Wham! Then Luxio, then Bellibolt, then the Grim Reaper herself, Mismagius hops out and ends the run right there. Confuse Ray after Confuse Ray, and even after Ghost Rider eats its Person Berry, a Hex ends his life. Or afterlife. I'm not super sure. Mojo Jojo doesn't fare much better. He's able to get a Cross Chop in on a sleeping Mismagius before it hits with another Confuse Ray. Mojo can't get itself together, and Mismagius ends another try at the gym. And so we begin our next attempt. You know the drill. Sandman takes out Watrel and gives the alley-oop to Roosevelt, who rolls out what's left of Luxio and Bellibolt. And now we're down to her ace Mismagius, the Pokemon that has been giving us all that incredible trouble. But this time, things are different. We open with Ghost Rider snarling away all of Mismagius' special attack, and now that you're hitting like a wet, non-ghostly noodle, you're not so tough after all, are you? It confuses us again, but thankfully Mojo Jojo actually hits Mismagius with Cross Chop, ending her reign of terror, and now I am the only Ghost-type trainer in Paldea. I'm one of 2 Ghost-type trainers in Paldea. After that grueling onslaught, you might be thinking, Quinn, you should relax. No! Would a zombie stop if it saw brains just out of reach? No, not us. We need that brain. Instead, we head straight to the next Team Starbase to take on Mela. We run right through their camp before Mela tries to put a stop to us, and whoa! Those look very stylish. We start off the fight by Sandman setting up some Somber Rain, which extinguishes her Torkoal's Drought. This weakens all her fire attacks, making Torkoal easy pickings. That was for the Sheeter Squad? I think you'll need to do a little bit better. Revavroom is next, and a combination of mugshots from Sandman, then a few mud slaps from Ghost Rider allows Mojo Jojo to finish it off with a low kick. With that victory, then some more hard-fought training, Mojo Jojo evolves into a Primeape, still not a ghost, but definitely a bit buffer and slightly greener. And by a bit buffer, I mean 2 hitting the Steel Titan? This monkey has been drinking its milk. Think of how strong he'll be when he's actually a ghost type. From here, we head to Cascarafa to take in the sights and... Okay, who am I kidding? I want to shop, okay? Perfect. Now my Rotom phone is even more a part of the team than before. Looking extra dapper, we challenge Kofu, and looking good is half the battle. And having Roosevelt hit with a few super effective bullet seeds is the other half. After Ghost Rider and Mojo Jojo weaken Kofu's team up, Roosevelt takes the rest out with Bullet Seed. Even Kofu's Terra-boosted Crab Hammer can't stop the 32nd Ghost President of the United States, and the Ghost Gang easily takes the 4th gym badge. So we move on and do some training in the Western Province Area 3, where I spot my next prey. Friend. This Grievard is yellow, like the sulfur of hell, but loyal. The sweetest dog you've ever had. We catch it and name it Sandy, named after the sweetest dog I've ever seen. Sandy, from my favorite movie, Annie. Then under the Shroud of Night, we make our good little girl Sandy evolve into her more powerful, adorable ghost form, Houndstone. Aside from being loyal, Houndstone is super powerful because it has access to one of the strongest moves in all of Pokemon. Last Respects. Last Respects is a ghost-type move that powers up for each fainted Pokemon on your team. If you have a fully fainted team, this attack can reach otherworldly levels like 250 base power. That's as strong as Explosion. You know, the move that needs you to explode to use? Yeah. Annie is going to be a great member of the team. And now we're ready to take down the next Team Star leader, Atticus, and the Navi camp. Atticus opens with Skuntank, so we go Mojo Jojo. Its Toxic is no match for repeated cross-chops. When he sends out Muck, we send out Roosevelt, cleverly equipped with Disable. With Sludge Wave disabled, Muck is forced to rely on Mud Slap, which, while annoying, we overcome it. Ghost Rider easily takes out his Revavroom, but is equally easily fainted by the Starmobile. This one is gonna be rough. While you might think Sandman would be in a good position to damage it, we miss the first attack and get overpowered. Let us pay our respects to the fallen by knocking the Starmobile into next week. Bam! And the Starmobile is down. I think our Ghost Gang is really starting to ramp up now and get properly spooky. Both Ghost Rider and Mojo Jojo evolve into their ghostly forms, Skeledirge and Annihilate respectively. And I'm gonna say it, I'm getting chills just looking at all these shiny spirits. I think we're ready to take on the next gym leader, Larry. Being immune to normal and having stab on fighting moves makes Mojo Jojo the obvious choice to lead against Larry's normal type Pokemon. However, things are never that easy. We miss not once, but twice with Cross Chop, then get sucker punched to death by Kamala. Not a great start. The newly evolved Ghost Rider comes in and shows its gains. Torch Song allows us to snowball, or ghost ball, our way to astronomical special attack levels, screaming through Kamala and Dunsparce. Larry sends out his ace Staraptor, but confusingly Terras into a normal type, which can't hit Ghost Rider. Well, Larry, you're an odd fella, but I must say, you're a pretty good Pokemon battler. Not! Because Ghost Rider hits its flamethrower and one-shots Staraptor. And right after the gym, the next challenger is Nemona again. Mojo Jojo makes quick work, learning from its mistakes, and doesn't miss a single cross-chop or rage fist. He even nearly one-shots the Exorcist itself, Palmo. For a little challenge when Nemona's Meowscarada knocks out Mojo, I go Ghost Rider. A matchup for the ages. Even though Meowscarada could hit us with a super effective stab dark move, it doesn't. Weird choice, Nemona. And so we take it out with a flamethrower. With Nemona defeated, it's now time for the part of this playthrough that I've been dreading. While my ghosts are shiny, they're still ghosts. And ghosts are weak to themselves. This means that the Montanevera gym battle with Rhyme is going to be an absolute slugfest. Ghost on ghost violence. You hate to see it. To prep for Montanevera's double battles, I put Helping Hand on Annie to let it boost Ghost Rider's power. After getting the crowd hyped with our awesome double battling, Sandman starts glowing even more than it usually does and evolves into Palossand. Finally, the gym leader Rhyme comes out, but she clearly wasn't ready for my team's sick beats. With a helping hand from Annie, Ghost Rider smacks through Rhyme's entire team, starting with Banette, BAM! Then her Houndstone, then her Terra-boosted Toxtricity. My Ghost crew feels unstoppable. Yeah, it was pretty straightforward to beat her. I don't know why I was so scared. I guess ghosts are kind of spooky. Anyway, after defeating the 6th gym, we decide to add another shiny to our team. And for my next catch, I set my sights on Mimikyu, one of my favorite ghost types ever. Mimikyu is special because of its ability to Skies, which allows it to absorb one hit and take no damage. This would allow us the devilish ability to set up Swords Dance and sweep through unsuspecting victims. I love it. To find this phantom, we make a ghost sandwich. First, we add ghastly green peppers, resurrected red onions, blood-curdling cucumbers, and true terror tomatoes. It is as delicious as it is horrifying. Each bite with a scream of flavor. With my spine thoroughly chilled from my sandwich, we set out to find a shiny Mimikyu, which we find surprisingly quickly. It puts up a good fight, almost knocking out Sandman, but we catch it. I decide to name it Scrump after Lilo's doll and Lilo and Stitch. Look at them! They could be siblings. With our new shiny on the team, there's another Titan on the horizon, and it's the Iron Elephant itself, Iron Tusk. This one is going to be hard. The Quaking Earth Titan flinches Roosevelt into an early feint, forcing me to bring in Skeledirge, whose stab flamethrower scorches through into its second phase. With the help of Arven Scovillain, we're able to put Iron Treads underground. Whoa, who knew steel types were weak to fire? Well, Arven, apparently. So we move on, then enter Mesagoza, and upon entering the town, we grab a few mints to supercharge our team, turning almost our entire team jolly, which increases our speed. And at this point, Nemona wants another run at us. She just doesn't learn, does she? Scrump takes down Lycanroc, Sandman takes out Sligo and the Exorcist, and Skeledirge ends the match with a Meowscarada one-hit KO with Flamethrower. With Nemona defeated, next up is the gym leader Tulip. Ghost naturally hits Psychic types super effectively, so I'm expecting this to be as easy as haunting a house. I've never done it before, but I think it would come naturally to you when you're a ghost, right? Even after Tulip's Farigiraf knocks out Roosevelt and Scrump, I completely forgot that the giraffe was a normal type. My bad. Ghost Rider is more than enough to take care of what's left. We hit the rest of her team with a Penance Stare, by which I mean it hits Farigiraf with the Torch Song, Shadow Balls his Pathra, then Gardevoir a second later. Florges doesn't fare much better, and just like that, we have the Psychic Badge. And next up is another easy gym battle for Ghost Rider. We head to the top of the mountain and complete the gym challenge in what feels like less than a minute, and go on to battle the gym leader Grusha. Ghost Rider clears the Snowboarding Pro with Torch Songs alone. The only thing that could stand up to a Terra-boosted Flamethrower is Satitan, surprisingly. Not too bad. After that easy gym battle, we decide to add another member to our team. And the next shiny that I'm aiming for is one of the strongest of them all, Dragapult. But first, we need to find a Dreepy. So we travel up to Glaciato Mountain with a ghost sandwich. How is it even possible for a sandwich to taste scary? I have no idea what that just was. After making Spooky Sando after Spooky Sando and running up and down the mountain, we find our shiny Dreepy, and a Quick Ball is all we need to catch it, and just like that, Crash the Dreepy is on the team. I call him Crash because I think it looks like Crash Bandicoot's color scheme. What do you mean you don't see it? Whatever, I'm the one naming it. We evolve Crash while leveling while on our way to Ortega. 2 Pokemon in 1, I wonder if Crash shoots that little tiny Dreepy in his head. Maybe I could get a second shiny Dreepy from that? What do y'all think? Possible? Maybe. Anyway, we run through the Rockbach camp and eventually hit Ortega and his massive pink Starmobile. And naturally, he wants to battle. Azumarill goes down quickly to Roosevelt's Bullet Seed, then Scrump and his Darkspun do battle by doing no damage to each other. Scrump double teams and hones his claws while Darkspun uses Baby Doll Eyes. Eventually, Scrump is too evasive to be hit, and we eke out a short-lived victory. I keep forgetting to give Scrump a move that can actually do damage to normal types, so we're forced to switch out to Ghost Rider to close the battle. Ghost Rider, more like Goat Rider, because he makes quick work of the Starmobile all by himself. From here we find the final Titan Dondozo, and Roosevelt rolls through once again. Its Stab Bullet Seed in combination with its Wind Rider ability allows us to absolutely destroy the Titan. Even after being boosted by a Tatsugiri, Dondozo stands no chance and can barely take 1 or 2 power whips. Next, we take out the final Team Star captain, Eri. I think my ghosts were clouding her judgment as her Toxicroak kept using Sucker Punch, which failed as I got to do 6 Dragon Dances for free. With our boosted stats, every single Phantom Force is a one-hit KO. Even the Starmobile with its 408 HP is barely able to stomach a single one. Next thing on the menu is some delicious ghost fish, aka Basculegion, another powerful ghost with access to last respects, just like Annie. But before we're able to get one of those, we gotta find its pre-evolution Basculin. So we go riding around the Kitakami Wilds, and after eating a delicious ghost sandwich, we go out and... oh! There's one. We quickly throw a netball and get it. I think Legion is a good name for it because a school of fish is sort of like a legion, and it evolves into a Basculegion. Come on! Basculegion's Pokédex entry reads, this Pokemon is cloaked in the souls of its comrades who perished during a punishing journey to the river of their birth. So Legion here is like a ghost school of phantom Basculegions. Huh? Kinda dark, huh? Anyway, evolving Legion is no easy feat. It requires her to lose at least 294 HP from recoil damage and not faint. And this really got me wondering whose job is it to think of these things? A little bit strange. Anyway, Legion rams its head, or entire body I guess, into the poor Pokemon in its way until she eventually evolves into a beautiful lemon lime ghost fish. Nothing more beautiful than a shiny Pokemon just before the Elite Four. Oh, also Crash evolved. Good for him. At this point, the end is in sight, and I now must prep for the Elite Four. I do a lot of running around and shopping across Paldea to get my team properly outfitted for the home stretch. Notably, I get a throat spray for Ghost Rider, leftovers for Sandman, Life Orb for Scrump, Focus Sash for Crash, Spell Tag for Annie, Wide Lens for Roosevelt, and Punching Glove for Mojo Jojo. Now, ready, we stroll up to the Elite Four, meet our eventual final challenge Geeta, and do a pop quiz? Truly, pop quizzes are the only thing scarier than a ghost. We answer the quiz and pass with flying colors. Then go take on the first Elite Four member, Rika. I open with Roosevelt with the idea to use Wide Lens to make Power Whip nearly perfectly accurate. This goes off without a hitch, and Roosevelt easily runs through Rika's ground-type team like a tumbleweed in a ghost town. How does it feel to be a ghost town, Rika? Next up is a literal toddler, aka Poppy, and her steel-type army. However, between Sandman's ground and ghost-type stab moves, Poppy's team is quickly shaved down to Magnezone and Tinkaton, and Ghost Rider's flamethrower cleans up what's left for our second win. And our next challenger is... Ghost? No, it's just Larry. Someone we already beat before. His Flying-type Pokemon are new, but he goes down nice and easy. Crash gets an early Dragon Dance while his Tropius prepares for a sunny day. Then Crash finishes his entire team with Dragon Darts. Nothing on Larry's team can handle the raw power of a shiny pseudo-legendary. Our next challenger, Hassel, isn't too much of a hassle as I let Crash do the exact same thing as last time, Dragon Dance, then sweep his entire team with super effective Dragon Darts. Crash is busted. He's just too dang strong. Somebody's gotta stop him. These trainers don't want their Pokemon to be ghost types too, do they? At this point, Geeta is the only thing standing in my way. Champion versus challenger. Let's get it on. We open with the best girl, Annie, whose Phantom Force knocks out half of Espathra's health in one shot. Once that's down, I bring Ghost Rider in and we torch song our way through her King Gambit, Avalugg, Veluza, and Go-Go. Glimmora is her last Pokemon and manages to finally take out Ghost Rider with an Earth Power, only to have Legion ram into it with a Wave Crash, proving Ghost superiority for good. Now with the champion defeated, we just have a few battles left before we can call this run completed. As we're headed home from the Elite Four building, we run into an old friend, Mr. Tag Team himself, Arven. Naturally, we fight, as one does, and I let Mojo Jojo close combat through his entire team, literally knocking itself out with Life Orb recoil. This guy is literally too angry to stay alive. Ghost Rider beats his Cloyster until it's the two of our aces facing off against each other. Even after being hit by a Terra-boosted Crunch, Ghost Rider is able to retaliate and overcome the type disadvantage and incinerate it with not Incinerate, but Flamethrower. Just when I thought all is good and I could put my ghost to rest, a certain old man poorly pretending to be a child confronts me. Clavel, you want some too? Legion cleaves through his Oranguru in a single wave crash, nice job, but gets taken out immediately after by his Abomasnow, who faints from recoil. Ghost Rider is in next versus Clavel's Poltergeist and is able to stomach a Shadow Ball. Oh, that's gotta hurt. But we fire back with the Torch Song. Houndoom, with its Stab Dark attacks, takes out Ghost Rider, so we have to go Mojo Jojo, as it's one of our few Pokemon that isn't weak to Dark-type attacks. And one close combat seals Houndoom's fate. At this point, I make the silly decision to attack Amoonguss, a poison type, with a fighting move, which results in exactly what you'd expect from punching a mushroom. It's like punching a wet, living pillow, and it gets spores everywhere. With Mojo Jojo spored and fainted, I bring in Scrump to do his tried and true Hone Claws setup. Boosted Shadow Claws are all we need to bring the mushroom down. The last thing in my way is his Water Terra Quaquaval, which dances on Scrump's grave. Quaquaval might be big, strong, and have a glowing crystal growing out of its head, but it's still a water type. And so, Roosevelt enters the scene. A single super-powered Power Whip is all we need to close out this fight. We defeat the Director Clavel, but then we find out something terrible. Penny, the girl I saved from the Team Star Grunts, turned out to be a redcoat, a hidden soldier for the people that we were trying to take down. Naturally, she challenges me to a battle because everybody challenges me to battles. I don't know what the deal is, but they do. But this fight was pretty quick. Crash Dragon Dance and Dart Darted. And bang bang boom and bing bang boom, Umbreon, Vaporeon, Flareon, and Jolteon all fall until Leafeon takes Crash down, only for Ghost Rider to come in. One Torch Song and Leafeon is down, and all Penny has left is Sylveon. We hit her with the newly acquired Overheat, and even though Sylveon surprisingly survives, we take the victory soon after. But what's that I hear on the horizon? Ugh. It's Nemona. Nemona, I've beat you and your Exorcist rat 20 times at this point, but fine. One more battle couldn't hurt. All right, we meet in the town square at dusk. Lycanroc versus Legion, and I'm feeling good about that. Her Aqua Jet crushes this dog easily, but not before it sets up Stealth Rock. Hazards? Really? I thought we were friends. Next up is the Exorcist, whose Holy Lightning fries Legion. So we bring in Scrump to get some setup in until Pawmot freezes us with Ice Punch, but Ghost Rider is able to ride it out and get a Torch Song off, then another when Earthworm comes in. It seems Nemona can't handle Ghost Rider's sick beats. Goodra falls to Shadow Ball, Dudunsparce falls quickly after, and finally we're at a standstill between Meowscarada and Ghost Rider. And for the first time in what seems like years, Ghost Rider unfortunately falls. This Meowscarada's dark typing proves difficult. Its combination of Shadow Claw, Play Rough, and Flower Trick forces out Crash and takes Sandman out easily. And now it's all down to the monkey of the hour. Mojo Jojo, it's up to you. We believe in you. Mojo Jojo tanks a super effective Play Rough, and that's all she wrote. For now. I may have defeated everything in Paldea, but I have the post-game waiting for me. Keep an eye out, you might see a shiny-only ghost-type post-game playthrough haunting your YouTube sometime soon. But anyway, like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed it. Till next time.